Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm good.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Aurora.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us today. Last night leading into this morning, we dealt with cold temperatures, colder than I was used to. I mean, this morning, getting ready for work and stuff, I put on the heavy sweatshirt. It was chilly. Now, as you could imagine, we had quite a few concerns about the cold weather coming up. We weren't finished with picking for the year. We're still having a great time. So it's gonna be interesting today to see how the crops look out in the field. I know we have some picking planned for today, but I'm concerned that a few of the crops, they didn't like how cold it got last night. And on top of it getting really, really cold, we got hit with a pretty good frost. And yeah, you know, the plants don't like the frost.
She said the doctor.
Hey, Ronnie, what color is this? Purple, good job. As you can see, Matthew and I made our way out to the field. The first thing that we need to get picking today is broccoli. And right when we got here, Matt noticed something that is not good. And that is, something was eating the broccoli. This looks like deer. And I would believe it because I went for a ride with the side-by-side last night and I probably saw like 20 deer. They didn't just eat one head of broccoli. If we just move over here, this one was taking some bites out of that one. Yeah, all these right along here, something was eating them. It is what it is. At this point in the year, the deer are gonna start looking to eat anything and everything that they can now that we're getting closer to winter, so we're expecting this to happen.
Not many. Man, so much frost on it,
When it comes to broccoli harvest this morning, we have been finding a few heads that are a little on the larger side. Like this one right here. I mean, look at this thing. This is a beautiful broccoli. We want to take that today. But for the most part, we're having to do a little bit of searching when it comes to the broccoli. We are harvesting a lot of the side shoots. When you harvest the main head off of a broccoli, you have the chance to get side shoots later on. And that's been one of the #1 things we've been looking for because at this point in the year, we've picked so much broccoli, we've kind of come through and taken as much as we could. But these side shoots, or bonus broccoli, if you will, I'd call them bonus broccoli. These side shoots, they're really, really nice because you can cut like 5 or 6 of them and bunch them together, and it's like having a whole head of broccoli. Here's a good example of a side shoot. You can see this one coming off right here. We just cut that as long as possible, and then right here we have another pretty large side shoot. Again, cut it as long as possible. And off of a main stem of broccoli, we got 2 extra mini heads that we can bunch up and sell. Now these are some beautiful potatoes. Look at these things. Gorgeous. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And the next week we can worry about cutting a little more if we need more.
Now the potatoes that we're digging right now are a yellow potato called Norwis. They're very, very popular. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that we like these Norwis yellow potatoes. Now we raised the Norwis, and then we also raise a white variety called Eva that we really like. Now for these yellow potatoes, we weren't 100% sure what the size is gonna look like on them. Mostly because, you know, it hasn't rained as much as it's needed to, especially during the growing phases. But we are finding a lot of nice potatoes here, and truth be told, I'm not finding too many small ones, which is always a good sign. So even in a dry year, these Norwis potatoes, they still hold up for us here in northeast and central Pennsylvania. Dad had a decent amount of potatoes dug up, but it just wasn't enough, so we're gonna have to dig a little bit longer. You can see we don't have to go that far between baskets to get full baskets, so it helps us to appreciate there is a lot of potatoes laying here. Once we're all finished digging though, we're gonna have to come up through with the cart and get them all put onto the wagon. The only thing is, I'm probably gonna have to make 2 trips. I think we're gonna have more baskets than space on the wagon, which is fine. I'll make 2 trips. If it means I got lots of potatoes, I'll make the trips. I'll get asked by many different people specifically about potatoes as to which variety that we like the most. This Norwis is something we've raised for a very, very long time. We all like it, but you know who likes these potatoes the most? Grammy. Grammy loves a good yellow potato, and this variety that we're harvesting today is one of her favorites. Now the great thing about these potatoes is they can be used for so many different things. We can use them for fries, we can use them for mashing. I know I like to slice them really, really thin, and we'll make chips out of them. So I mean, it's almost endless. This is just a great potato variety. The fact that you can fry them, bake them, do whatever you want with them, it's really what makes them very, very popular in our local area, not only with Grammy, but with the customers. This can be a difficult job, but when the potatoes look this nice, you don't mind it that much. As long as you have a nice crop to pick, it makes the job a lot more enjoyable. And it seems to be like that with everything that we pick except peas, because when the peas are nice, that just means you have to pick more peas. We're not gonna talk about peas right now, we're gonna talk about potatoes. The fact that the potatoes are nice, it makes it enjoyable to get out here, dig them up out of the ground. And every time you see a potato coming up over the machine like that, ooh, you can't complain. You just can't. We just got all the green baskets that we had brought with us filled up. So we're gonna get these loaded onto the wagon, and then we're gonna start taking them back to the farm. We do need to wash them. So we're gonna run, I think, everything that we have through the washer. We have a huge order for potatoes coming up here in the next couple days, so we gotta get that bagged up. There goes our first wagon load of potatoes. We got to get it back to the farm and get it into our hopper. That way we have plenty of baskets to fill up because we still got potatoes on the ground. For lunch today, we are having hot sausage, and then we've also got some peppers and onions and cauliflower, and then lastly, Grammy made a nice salad for us. Check that out. We got finished washing an entire bin of potatoes, and then we went up, we got our lunch. That was delicious. Ooh, I almost fell down. But now we're out here in the fields. We got to get the rest of these potatoes picked up. The boys are back at the farm working on bagging potatoes. I should have brought more green baskets. I'm definitely gonna need more green baskets. A little bit of an update on the last of the potatoes that need to be picked up. They're now all picked up and put into baskets. We're getting everything loaded onto the wagon.
Look at this! No more baskets! Who's the professional potato digger here? Not Daniel, it's Papa.
With a lot of the other produce, we'll just dump everything on that conveyor right before the washer. We like to do things a little bit different with the potatoes. We'll put them in our blue hopper, and then it comes up over our grading tool that we have. Now what that tool is, it's taking any of the smaller potatoes and it's dropping them down onto a different conveyor and then loading them into a hopper that we have, or a barrel that we'll have. And what we can do is take those smaller potatoes and we'll sell them at a different price. For the red potatoes, it's very important that we separate them because those smaller red potatoes are super, super popular in this local area, and they actually do fetch a higher price because of that. So it's a little bit different when we're doing potatoes as opposed to some other things that will run through the washer. But that's why we like to run all the potatoes up over that sorting machine we have, that grater, just to make sure we get the smaller potatoes pulled out and we can keep everything kind of the same. The bigger potatoes with the bigger potatoes, and the smaller potatoes with the smaller potatoes. It can be kind of difficult sometimes when the potatoes are covered in dirt to see if there's anything wrong with them. So when we do have potatoes that have imperfections or they're not at a point where we can sell them, we like to give them to the cattle or eat them ourselves. How's the potato? Is it good? Oh yeah. Look who we just found at work today. Aurora, how you doing, big girl? She's down here hanging out. She missed her cousin Ronnie. Ronnie was here working this morning. What a big girl, a very, very happy girl. Hi. I miss when Callie and Lily were this little. They grow so fast. As you can see, we have moved spots. We're no longer back at the farm, we're out in the fields. And that's because we need to get some sweet corn picked. So we're gonna be going through this yellow and white sweet corn and grabbing whatever we can find. We got an entire bin of yellow and white sweet corn, and then we moved over and just picked some of the white. It's pretty good. It helps you appreciate why the raccoons are eating it so much. That's good corn. Hey Ronnie, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to end the video last night. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.